promised everything was going to turn back to old school. He would probably do the same thing today, bro.
Really?
Literally. If he got hired by a wrestling company today, he would probably try the same thing.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Randy Russo. I am here with the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion, former WWE head writer himself. He is Vince Russo.
What's up, Doctor? How are you doing, my friend?
I'm well, man. I'm well. It's another day in paradise. As I always say, we were talking about some fun favorites in the green room, man. Yes. And we were doing a little karaoke as well.
Yes. We should do a whole show of karaoke. You think Raju will get mad?
Yes, I do. I do think he would get mad, but hey, that's maybe we can it's requested and
maybe yes
but I heard people prefer us. This is funny. We prefer to talk about things like outside of wrestling. We talk about like old pop music and SNL and college football and baseball. And there's a lot of our fans like, man, I wish you was talking about wrestling. I wish they get right into wrestling. I'm like,
please.
Man, if there's any two people that you don't want to watch to get right into wrestling, it would definitely be Vince Russo and Dr. Chris.
Yes. Yeah. I just started a whole new show. No wrestling, bro. No wrestling at all. Thank God. And I really enjoyed doing the show.
Awesome. Cheap plug, man. Let them know where to find it.
Yeah, no, guys, I do a show, Vince Russo, before my head explodes on the Believe. I do it on the Believe Network. You can get it on iTunes, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get all your podcasts. It's free. I drop a new episode Tuesdays and Fridays at midnight.
You think you know all the wrestling stories? There's more you haven't heard yet. Join us on Backstage Pass.
Wonderful. All right. Speaking of Riju, we are commissioned, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about Saturday night's main events. Speaking of Phil Collins, there you go. There's a Phil Collins song. That what Phil Collins song was it that started off?
That you started with?
No, that was the original Saturday Night's main event song.
Oh, it was a Phil Collins song?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's a great question, Doctor. I do not remember that long ago, man.
Let's see here. I think it was. I'm almost positive it was a Phil Collins song. Let's see. It was. Yes. 'Cause I don't remember. Take me home. Yep, that was the original.
That's a weird choice, man.
That was the closing song. Now, Ammunition's Obsession is the but I'll always remember that at the very end of SNL, the closing credits was "Take Me Home" by Phil Collins, man. And I'll never forget, man. There was one time, because it always go before Fritz the Night Owl, because they would periodically take that SNL spot, because I was a big SNL buff. And so it was from that 11:30 to 1 spot, hour and a half, 90 minutes, Saturday night's main event. And so I always stayed up watching it. And I'll never forget, man, I was devastated. I was so tired. One Saturday on an episode, I was excited, but I was so tired. I played sports all growing up, so I was probably playing sports all day. I was tired, man. I was struggling to stay up. And I've always been a night owl, but I was so tired, and I was almost there. It was like 11 something, like the nightly news was like from 11 to 11:30 local news, and I was there, man. Vince, I woke up to that daggone Fritz the Night Owl, man. I was devastated. I said, "Oh man, I
Yeah,
can't."
I've done that a few times. I sat down and watched something I really wanted, and I'd wake up and it was over. I've done that a couple of times, man.
I
Yeah.
was devastated. That daggone, and it was horrible. Take me home. I was like, no, like it was. I forgot what year it was. Probably late '80s. Yeah, it's probably late '80s, probably late '80s, early '90s. So, yeah, Phil Collins, man, full circle conversation. Take me home. Let's talk about the preview. Let's preview the matches of what we think is going to win, who we think is going to win. So far, there's 3 matches on the card, and so
Oofa.
let's go. Yeah, what's that?
I said, "Oofa."
Yes, yes, indeed. And there's only, as of this taping, it's like.
I swear, bro. I don't know what this company's problem is about booking in advance. I don't know why they are always so behind in booking. I don't know why.
You know, that's interesting that you say that, because there's, like a big old round table full of creative now, as opposed to you and Ferrara, and maybe a few other people, right? During your time in the late '90s, they would have bits of, like, a Cornette was there, and a Hayes.
No.
Cornette wasn't there
when it was me and Ferrara. It was me and
it was
Ferrara,
just you and Ferrara.
period.
What was the class with you and Cornette? Wasn't he upset about the way that you were booking?
Yeah, that was what happened. Was Pritchard moved up into JJ Dillon's spot.
Okay.
And that took him off the creative team. So
that took Pritchard off of
the creative team. Cornette took Pritchard's spot. Vince brought me in, and it was me, Cornette, and Vince for a while.
Yeah, that's what. Okay,
Yeah.
I knew you worked with Cornette.
Yeah.
For a while. Yeah. And then so Vince and Cornette, when did they go off of the team?
Well, Vince sent Cornette home, and it was just him and I for a while.
Oh,
and
wow.
then we hired Ed, and it was just me and Ed.
You and Ed, okay, yeah.
Vince went back to the office pretty much.
So during the heat of the Attitude Era, it was just you and Ferrara.
Oh yeah.
And you and Cornette worked together, like, around what time?
God, bro, like real early on, around the Chainsaw Charlie days, whenever that was.
It was around '98.
Yeah, around the Chainsaw Charlie days.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now the NWA territory takeover angle, that was a rib, wasn't it?
Yes, indeedy.
Man.
Yes, indeedy, as you would say, Chris. Yes, indeedy.
Yes, indeedy. Man, so how did Jarrett feel about that rib, man? And Barry Windham, Jeff Jarrett, Bart Gunn, Bob Holly was a part of that whole takeover thing too. How did they all feel about being a part of that NWA gimmick?
Bro, I don't think they really cared. I mean, they had a spot. They were getting paid. Bro, back then, like, it was really all about getting paid. You know what I mean? I think that's really all they cared about.
Yeah, they just cared about the spot. Yeah, it wasn't guaranteed contracts at the time too, so they just wanted their spot.
Yep.
I mean, that makes sense. Sense. Man, that's hilarious. And was he pretty hot at you because of that?
Oh no, because he thought it was going to go over huge.
Oh, did he really?
Oh my God!
So you worked
he thought this was going to be the NWO.
Wow, like he legit felt that way. He felt like
yeah. And I said, all right, roll the dice. Let's see what you got.
What was his idea? Like, what was like when he was talking to you? What was like his end game to this NWA takeover?
Just everything was going to turn back to old school. He would probably do the same thing today, bro.
Really?
Literally. If he got hired by a wrestling company today, he would probably try the same thing.
He would do another takeover angle, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.